Howdy, everybody. Back in Printers Row this afternoon. Let's see if we can do a sec check on the blind tech. Morning, Snooze. How's it sound? And sorry, I always defaulted good morning. It's afternoon in most places. Oh, I think I see my security guard out there right now. Howdy, Pink. Nope. New Blue Star. New officer here today. That reminded me to close. Oh, they got the blinds before I got here. Very good. How do we feel about protecting rapists and child abusers? Pretty good. But at least you get your penny, right? Line the pockets. I'm going to see if I can find if there's anybody out handing pamphlets. My guess is they spread out off of the street, off of this street. Excellent job, girl. Not sure if I can see some of the names from this morning, but just a reminder, I was out here this morning. I was out here this afternoon. This morning, they pulled the blinds down when I was there. And I had a conversation with, it was a different Blue Star guy. He came out and suggested that I wasn't allowed to film there. I was able to declare that he was 100% wrong, and I continued to film. He didn't say another word to me the whole time, and I was probably there for 20, 25 minutes. This afternoon was fun. At lunchtime, I was out here, and it was the first time I caught a body router. And I don't know if it's considered body routing, but somebody handing out pamphlets. It was basically a Dianetics pamphlet, and he was passing them out, and at the top it said admit one, which I assume was going to be the proposal to say, come in and get your personality test or one of any of those 4 introductory tests, which are that first shot of cocaine before they then start making you pay. He handed his flyers out to a few people, and I was able to connect with maybe 3 or 4 of the people that he handed them to. One of them was kind of surprised. Again, I'll say that, hey, I'm a guy with a camera on a street. He has no idea who I am. Why are you talking to me? But I just wanted to let him know that, hey, this is a cult, and they've just given you your invites to join the cult. The next person had said to me that, yeah, she was absolutely aware of what it was and had no intention of going in and helping them. I'll tell you what, just before, I'm going to go across the other side because I want to go to the busier parts of town to see if there's a body router. But right now I'm going to check the alley to see if there's any activity in the alley. Very strange. I've got a man walking a scooter behind me. And again, I'm sure that there's some form of paranoia, but I definitely want to stay clear of all the fun that Danny had yesterday or Saturday. Sorry, so getting back to that, the person that would hand out flyers, I would just follow him around and let the people know that he was handing them out to, that, hey, here's what that group's all about. And, you know, I think a lot of people know, but a lot of people don't. The staffer, at one point, he went into the 7-Eleven to try to avoid me or to shake my tail or whatever you want to say in that regard. I went back later to talk to the clerks. Again, I know the clerks. I've been in this neighborhood for a long time, so I know the people in that that are the clerks in there, and let them know that, hey, if somebody comes in here to try to drop things off, it's a cult. One of the clerks was very well aware of what Scientology was. The other person was like a little bit confused, so I gave them a couple of pointers or talking points as to what the group does. I don't know. I don't think that the organization stays in touch with the people that are outside the organization walking around. You know, maybe they are calling them on a phone or something. But we'll see. It'll be more fun when we have more people out here and we can kind of just tag more people or stay in touch with more people or catch up to them if they're trying to avoid us in this space.
Is it actually?
I think it's easier for Trashy to be out here later on. I might come back this afternoon. So this one is a much less used street. This is Federal Street, and it's just got a couple of residences, and this is the backside of some of the other streets that are other residential spots that are in the residential spaces in the South Loop. We'll see the retail as we go to the front of this. I feel like I'm competing with Natalie right now because I know that she's on her way. She's driving home with my Tony. And she draws a bigger crowd than I can. Rightfully so. I really love those morning chats with Natalie. And if you're not a subscriber, I would definitely go over and check out Life After a Cult. One thing I don't know is I've been making little clips of these, and I don't know if you can see my clips or not, or if you can only see the lives and the videos. I thought this afternoon was interesting. I had 3 clips of the person trying to hand things off and then me talking to that person. 1 clip of the security guard again, 1 clip of the windows or the blinds coming down. I don't think that I'm on their radar yet. I mean, I'm sure they weren't happy with me this morning. I don't know if they know what channel this is. I've got very few subscribers. I know that that won't last for a long time. But this, when I came over this afternoon, that was the first time that I saw the shades drawn today before I got there. Just trying to scan the area for people handing out flyers. I'm going to zigzag over to Grant Park. That's going to be, again, hey, if you haven't been to Chicago, it's just a beautiful area in the middle of downtown. But it's an awful lot of pedestrians there. At this time of day, a lot of the foot traffic there is going to be people coming home from work. This is, Michigan Avenue is the core of our, let's say our tourist group. So there'll be there's oftentimes, you'll hear 20 different languages in a walk from Roosevelt to Randolph. Just trying to keep scanning for if I can see uniforms. You may have noticed at the beginning, right, we saw the Blue Star officer. I'm going to just guess by appearance that's a retired and not an off-duty. Fully unfazed by the idea that he's supporting a cult that supports rapists, child abusers, elder abusers. And let's not forget, all of Blue Star are Chicago PT retirees or off-duty members, all in good standing with the police. Okay, thanks, girl. What I'll do tonight is I'll turn them into shorts because I know that, like, hey Wolf, I love watching the lives, but they can be kind of time consuming, and we probably have hundreds of people doing lives at this point in time. It's probably hard to scrub through that many hours of video to find the nuggets, and a lot of time, thankfully, it's not people trying to break our nose or people making up or forcing battery type scenarios. That lag might just be dependent upon when I'm in line of sight or not in line of sight of the cell towers. Again, now I'm on State Street, and on State Street, this large building here is the Roosevelt, one of the Roosevelt dormitories. So you'll almost always see college kids on this street. There's several restaurants, food sources, Devil Dog, Blaze Pizza. I think there might be a Panda Express down there. So. Oh, I guess what else I could do is in the description of the videos, I could put URLs to the clips. Love this city in the spring. So you can see over here we've got the larger blue building, light blue building in front. That's another Columbia College. But this is, I think, classroom here. And Columbia is kind of a media and arts school. I'm sure there's several other things, but that's kind of what they're known for. You can see the dark building there with the U.S. flag in front. Another Columbia College location. Yeah. Regrettably, it's a Tom Cruise phrase, but if I was Scientology, I would have to say this is a target-rich environment. Hi, Wolf. Thank you. And yeah, you know, I really like hanging out with Trashy. I think I've spent, I've had 2 sessions with him. I like his tact. He's not a brute force. He doesn't scream at anybody. He tries to create conversation. Big fan. And again, that's not to diminish anybody else's method of operation, but I just prefer that. And as many of the exes have said, it's going to take, there's all kinds of reasons people get in and all kinds of ways that we'll get them out. This afternoon, I mentioned that I would not say that my goal is to get people out. I just think that's a pretty high barrier. I want to do whatever I can to stop people from getting in. Cut off that stream of fresh meat, as the Scientologists will say. So now we're coming up on Michigan Avenue. And again, another Columbia. I've got the camera zoomed in pretty hard because I felt that on a lot of my earlier videos, the people were just too far away. So it was hard to get anything recognizable. But again, another Columbia College. And this wall has always been kind of a wall of fame for them. People who have had good achievements. So we're seeing what? Fashion, theater, film and television, writing, photography. And this is the contemporary photography building. Hopefully we're seeing more people here, right? I don't really see that we've got any, I can't see any uniformed org members here. Yeah. That's Berlin sounds excellent. I was there a year and a half ago. I wouldn't say I understood all of the downsides of the cult at this point, so I would have had no need to go there. I was in Tokyo last week, and you might have seen some of the images from the Tokyo org. Boy, it seems normalized there. When I was going past there, and again, I was there just before opening on a Sunday, which I can't imagine is a crowded time. There is no such thing as worship, even though they claim there is. It was mostly just, I would imagine, staff members going in to prepare the place for visitors. And then I went back on Monday at about lunchtime, and there were people, there's a cafeteria inside, and there were people in the cafeteria eating, having drinks. Just seemed really normalized. So these are probably Jones College Prep, the young kids running there. and I'm just going to guess on their age. And I see another cohort of them coming down. So there's a high school here as we go back to State Street. Boy, a lot of wind here. Hope you're hearing me okay. So young runners getting out for their afternoon workout. The building had the dead end. The university isn't a school building. It's their theater. There are dorms and classrooms at, I think, Jackson and State Street. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that, Wolf. I know that there's certain countries where they can't claim religion. One of the really cool things about Chicago is all of the artwork in the form of graffiti. I just love this street art. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I think we saw Streets was in a part of LA that had an awful lot of street art. There's a neighborhood here called Pilsen, and Pilsen is just ripe with incredibly detailed murals. There's a railroad track that runs through there, and there's a concrete wall. So it's like a half-mile wall of just pictures and paintings. Hey, Corn. Well, I don't know if it's good news or if it's bad news, but definitely didn't, I haven't seen any org members yet. So it might mean that they're not out, and it might mean that they're not where I am. I thought that Germany was even more strict than like the UK on Scientology. Let's see if I can speed up here, get across the street. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Ah. And if I tap again, does it go away? Nice. Today I've got my drone with me too, but I'm not going to put it up if I'm out by myself. Is it still as laggy as it was earlier? Or does it kind of come and go? Thanks, Corn. Let me know if you want to venture into the city again, Corn, and I'll see if we can meet up. Yeah, in one of the earlier, I think it might have been my first or second video, I did do drone footage of both the Legacy organization as well as this organization. But at that point, they had the garbage bags up. And then, what was it? Saturday morning, I think. Saturday morning, I went up to the Legacy org, and they're definitely shutting that down. There, you can see some images of the garbage cans that are all, or the garbage bags that are all just loaded up with trash in the middle of the building, and then they've got a retail window that looks like a 1940s Macy's sidewalk window. And in that window is a bunch of furniture that's for sale, and like a 1980s scanner and a 10-key calculator. Just all of those things that somebody from a century ago would love to have. This afternoon was fun. The Sea Org member that I was following around, you could tell that he had brand new shoes on. I don't know if it was the price tags or the size stickers were on the bottom of each one. Yeah, I remember that second skateboarder that came up. I think that's something that we also have to be kind of aware of out here, is that new people that kind of come into the network, are they here for good, or are they here for nefarious purposes, right? Are they going to come in here and stir up trouble so that it makes it look like the protesters are bad characters? I loved when the officer engaged us on Saturday, and between Tony and myself, we just had a great conversation that said, yep, we're doing nothing illegal. We have every right to be here. I thought it was very funny. He had asked me, well, when do you think you're going to leave? I said, well, as soon as they shut down. I'm going to go past the org again. And then I want to see if they're up at the train station. Because again, this is the time when there'll be an awful lot of people trying to catch their train to get out of the city. Yeah, Abacus, that's fine. Yeah, and I don't want to paint that brush that all cops are the same. I grew up believing 100% that they were here to help. I do fully believe that they're corrupt, but there's bad apples in every bushel. That doesn't make the bushel bad. But the longer you let that bad apple stay in there, the worse off you are. And I think yesterday, if you were watching Free Xenu Project, and might have been Trashy, might have been Nance, I'm not sure, but they had an engagement with the police officer, and the police officer at first thought that, oh, there's a 50-foot free buffer zone around the church. And that goes back to an old that goes back to an old law that they weren't allowed, or there was a requirement that you had to stay 50 feet away if they were doing worship and things of that nature. But I think it was in 2008, 2010, the ACLU came in and they totally rolled back that law because it was 100% against the Constitution. You're allowed to publicly protest anything. Here's the gentleman that was passing out earlier today. Still not going to give you one? No? Only to special people? We'll see if he can get any more passed out today. And remember, we've got our Blue Star security there. Chicago cop history. And more than happy to protect people who are rapists. You know, Danny Masterson goes in and drugs people. The church covers it up for 20 years. He finally is convicted. And everybody still says, well, that's a good church. That's what churches should do. They should protect their rapists. And they should penalize those in the church who decide to go and talk to the police. Yeah, big fan of Sour Tap. Big fan of the one right behind me too, first draft. Sour Tap has a neat room in the back as well. And it's fun to go past Sour Tap in the morning on the weekends because they're making the bagels and the daily bread. So, nice. That's awesome, Corn. And they were really the only ones, because they had an entry that's outside the permitted zone, they were able to stay open that day. I do want to say, hey, if I have to stand here to keep the guy off the street handing out paperwork, excellent. I didn't notice a big change in the size of the stack of pamphlets that he had from this afternoon, but of course he can go in and hey, Wolf, go ahead and put your channel in if you want to. I'm sure you could have resupplied it just the same. So, and if anybody wants to figure out how to do a search here too, that'd be great. Let's see how good they are on their blinds tech. Oh, you can kind of see in the crack there. So they're going to have to fix that. I don't know if you can see the same way that I can see, but I'm sure that's a picture of good old El Ron. So this gentleman's here to pick up somebody who seems to have a disability. Like I said, if I don't know if the camera has the same line of sight that I do, but if you're looking through that crack, you can see probably an L. Ron Hubbard with him in his fake Navy hat. It was his Space Navy before it was Miscavige's. Have fun at the cult. All right, so they seem to have two-way radio as well. That wasn't a phone; it was more of a two-way radio by the tall man here. They're reserving the parking. Yeah, this morning I had a clear shot of pretty much everything in there. Um, they didn't have these doors closed. When I came back this afternoon, they finally closed them, but this morning they never closed them, and they closed the blinds. So I saw all the blinds. Inside of this plaque is a national landmark. I think this building has national landmark status. So there's a national landmark about how it used to be called the Art Craft Building and what went on in that situation. Absolutely. Let's see what I got there. Yeah, I wonder if they're as strict in the other national cultures as they are here. Oh, this is interesting. I I wonder, do you have contact information for the person, or it was just a conversation in passing? And I assume when you're saying Masters, it's Masterson. Yep. Looks like it's a drop off, not a pickup. Yep. Might be time to follow our pass router again. If he starts walking down the road, I'll follow. Hi, Stephanie. How you doing? Yeah, I'm not sure if he's feeding the meter or if he thinks he can get a mortgage out of that. All right, I'm going to head down and follow our handbill guy. Hey, as I move in and out of the shadows, is it overly noticeable on the camera? And I also wish that I had halfway between these two, whether between the telephoto and um, the wide angle. It's a cult. It's a cult. Don't take that pamphlet. They're a cult. It's Scientology. They're the ones that protected Danny Masterson. Yeah. All right, save one. I should go and look in the garbage cans at the end of both of these blocks to see how many of them are the Dianetics pamphlet. And I don't know that that's the same one. The one that he was passing out this afternoon was Admit One for Dianetics, which I'm sure was an invitation to come into the org and watch videos. Yep. Yeah, that was, you probably saw half sour in the image there, Corn. He's looking behind himself to see if I'm following on his street or on his side of the street. Sorry, I'm probably getting you guys all dizzy. Is the church doing well for you? Look, communication, how to stay mute. Oh, look at that, walking on private property. Careful, that's a private alley back there. So he didn't come all the way around. He just started in and walked back. He's crossing the street back to the org. Hello, Grandma Squirrel. I feel like an effective stat crusher today. That's twice he's walked back inside. Hey, if anybody from Columbia College is watching right now, if you can come down and say hi, I'd appreciate it. I really want us to kind of get a network of people who know to watch for them when they do start doing this, handing out the flyers. And you know they're going to go to Grant Park and set up a table, and you know they're going to go to the train station. Yeah, Corna, I so wish that I was here last weekend. It's just that Davey thwarted my plans by surprising us, and I had already made plans to be in Tokyo. And again, this is not legal advice, but I will tell you that traditionally in trespass, there must be a sign that says so, or an agent of the property has to tell you you're no longer welcome there, and only then can the police trespass you. In certain situations, you can also, they call it an affidavit of trespass. So a private property owner could say, hey, police, you're free at any time to come in and trespass somebody off my property. So only under those three situations. And I would say that underneath the affidavit, I would still kind of push the officer to say, are you threatening to arrest me if I don't leave? Because if they're going to threaten to arrest, then that's a violation of your First Amendment right. And they're wrong, right? Now, usually I just say, great, threaten me to arrest, then walk away because you've got that on tape, at which point you can make the complaint that they violated your First Amendment right. Thank you, Lori. Oh, I just got a picture from Blue Hair. Yeah, regrettably, if you look at the history of police in the United States, they really are a faction to protect the rich. And I, growing up, I didn't really have this understanding or philosophy, but to read about how when they grew up, and it was really to return slaves to their slave owners and to create these laws that would protect, I'm going to say wealthy people, but at that point it was just the white people. To protect the white people from any interactions of the newly freed slaves in that space. And from that point forward, it really has been, if you're wealthy, the police are usually an ally. And again, that's a broad brush. I'm going to say that's how it got its beginnings. And there are good police. I think there are very noble police out there. I've known several Chicago police. None of them are still on the force anymore. But there are good people and bad people in any group. I really want, if you look at my community page, you'll see, and a girl actually did a Google review for them. You'll see that there's a contact us page on the Blue Star Security. And I really want them to feel that we don't agree with the idea that they're protecting a group that protects child traffickers, human traffickers, child abusers, elderly abusers, condone rape, cover up other crimes. Yeah, Fuzzy, I think that's correct, right? Now, there are, there are good cops out there. There's good prosecutors out there that are, you know what, I'm going to take a hit, but this wealthy guy just did a crime and I'm going to make him pay for his crime. Yeah, Scattered, what I think we need to do is we just need to have more people here, because if I move away from the front, it does allow people to walk in, and it allows people to walk out without shame. But I'm more interested, like, I don't know if you saw earlier, but the gentleman at the end of this street, right? They handed off the pamphlet to him. He was about to read it. And until I yelled to him it was a cult and it was Scientology, he was going to take a shot at it, right? I apologize. He was going to read it, right? And see what the information was there. And I guarantee you that information isn't, how would you like to join our cult? Here's a free donut. It was, come in and we'll help you be better. So, you know, I'm torn between, and if we have more people, it'd be easier. I'm torn between, do I stand here and make it challenging for them to come in and out, or do I make sure that they can't do the body routing? And again, unfortunately, there's an obstructed view to the back. When we were up at the Legacy organization up in Lakeview, it came to a pointed corner. So you could stand at the corner and you could see all the entries and exits. Here, there's an exit in the back alley. So it would be better if we could have more people here. And I understand that, you know, everybody's got different priorities and feel different and more comfortable about how they want to express their disdain for this cult. But I think would be the real advantageous element. My expectation is that I'm going to come here every day before work and I'm going to show up for muster. Yeah. On days when I can, I'll come out for lunch as well. I can get here very quickly. And, you know, today I was out here for 30 minutes at lunch, 33. I think that video was 33 minutes long. In 33 minutes, I was able to talk to 3 people that person had handed off a flyer to, all of which discarded the flyer or said they knew it was a cult and had no desire to keep that information. I was able to, again, engage with the security officer, the Blue Star Security, and I made him close the blinds. You know, the blinds might be closed since lunchtime, but that's, you know, I can't do a lot. But in 30 minutes, I'm proud of what I was able to do there. Happy with what I was able to do there. Yeah, I really like it more when, you know, if Trashy and I can get on the same schedule, and I love having Shannon out here. You know, I know that, hey, being on her feet all day long is a challenge, and but boy, is she a badass. This week we had, Saturday we had a couple of other new Chicago people show up, but having Nance out here where we can cover more than one door at a time. And we could keep somebody posted at the door and have somebody follow the body routers. Now, I'll say Scientology is about to get a reprieve because my bladder is unhappy with me right now. Yeah, the trafficking is such an obvious element, and there is nobody who is on this. Again, the people who buy and sell or are able to put that labor to work. Aside from there is nobody that thinks that human trafficking is good. So that's an easy win, and you know, whether it's Homeland Security or any other Department of Justice group, that should be able to take this up and say, yeah, we don't agree with this. Oh, oh, you snuck out, or you peeked out, but you know you can't come out. I'm still here. I think that was my my shade girl earlier. This garbage can is new here. Just to remind everybody, you're welcome to come in for a tour, but apparently not if you're me. And I really have no desire to go in and see that the information. I think we've seen, you know, PTS for life. Jeff did a great video of it, and I think I've seen one other person who kind of did a video of what was going on in there. Let's see what time it is real quick. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go find a laboratory, and I will be back in maybe 15 minutes. All right. Thanks, everybody. Again, comment if you can. I'm just trying to get my engagement up. I want to be able to help get this out more often. Thanks. Oh, you know what? I'm going to talk to this girl with the blue hair. I know that she was curious and she looked at me earlier. Excuse me. Is there any chance you're Columbia?
Yeah.
Or how do you like your new neighbors?
I hate them.
Okay.
So were you talking about the ones that shut down the street?
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah. Care to have a conversation or? All right.
Sorry, let me check the time.
No problem.
Quickly.
All right, no
Sorry,
problem. It's fine.
fine.
It's fine. The one thing I want to say, and here comes another one of the members. So the person behind you right now, that's the uniform of them right now. They're going to start doing what's called body routing.
What?
They're going to start doing what's called body routing.
Body routing.
And they're going to be handing out flyers and just trying to pull people in. And it's like every cult in the universe. The first few days are, hey, this is the beautiful things and great things that we do in this space.
They've gotten my ass before.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Nice. And again, I know a lot of people who are ex-Scientologists and second generation and first generation. It's a compelling story. And what idealistic young person doesn't want to save the world? Right?
I was having a bad day, and they said that their book would cure my autism.
Yeah.
And
How well did they do? What were your experiences on Saturday? What were your experiences on Sunday? Last Sunday. That was the day. Yeah.
Oh my! I was trying to get to my friend lives in the apartment right behind us, and I was just going to finish dyeing my hair that day, and I go to the apartment the entire side.
Yeah.
Because I was blocked off.
They violated so many permit rules that day.
Yeah, and I had to fish through so many people, and several even attempts to even pass through the garage. There are people in front of the garage for some reason, which made no sense.
They rented out the garage, so they would only let their vehicles in.
Yeah, that checks out. They rented out the street and the garage. Let's see.
Yes. They paid off all the people, all the other businesses on the street?
Yeah. There were I had heard things from other people too, that other people I lived with were having pictures taken of them and things like that. And the hedges, the grass hedges were a confusing one.
Right.
That one was really confusing. That whole truck that was full of like
Yeah.
hedges. They were off the road there, over there.
Yeah, and then it was vehicles in the middle, and
Yeah.
so. What I'd really like to do is figure out, and I don't know if you can take down an email or if Windy City Thetan Watch is the YouTube channel that I'm showing right now. I really want to kind of get people from here, because you're going to see them walk out of that building more than anybody else, and see if we can get a network of the Columbia students. If you just follow them around, and every time he hands a pamphlet out, just let them know it's a cult. That's Scientology. They won't let you know, and just that, because we're not going to get the people that are in out, but the more we can do to prevent new people from succumbing to it.
I can assure you, I have never seen our building more united than everyone's hatred.
That is awesome. I love that. I love that.
That's our one upside.
All right. All right. Thank you. Have a great day. I appreciate it. All right. Maybe I wasn't going to leave right away. Could you guys hear her on that? I know my mic is probably really directed at me. Oh, and I'm a terrible old man. I assume it's her. Well, I've got a red light. I'll go and see if we've got any alley action. Yeah, that moving van that you're seeing way down there, that's, again, the residents. That's not Scientology. Thanks, Neb. You could hear her? Yeah, so she said a couple of interesting things, and just to recap. She, at one point in her past, was pulled into Scientology. They had explained to her that if you read this book, it will cure your Scientology. She then realized that realized otherwise, and that the thing that I really liked is she's never seen the building so united, and it's united against their new neighbors. What I think I'm going to do is I have a second mic for this, and I think I like this mic because it gives me good pickup, for me anyhow, and I think it drowns out the noise that you're hearing around me. I'll bring a second mic and maybe look more like an interviewer, but that way it puts a mic much closer to the person that we're talking to. And I don't know if you were on earlier or not, but this is my favorite mural. I think that the thumbnail for this video is just going to be that mural saying, "Oh Christ, look at our neighbors." For any of the people that are still in here, any other ideas, or what else would you like to see? One thing I'll tell you is I love this city, and I love showing it off, but I don't want to confuse the channel, and I don't want it to be a Chicago channel. I want it to be a anti-Scientology channel. Yeah, some of the really bad stories that we heard Saturday, and Shannon got it from several interviews. They have a common floor in the Columbia dorm. I'm going to say it's the 7th floor. That's kind of arbitrary, but there's a common floor. And Scientology had people up there. That's, again, just alarming, disturbing, however you want to put that. And the idea that Columbia allowed it, right? I'm sure that the package that Columbia was presented with was, hey, we're here for a drug-free America, and we're here to help human rights, right? CCHR or whatever that one is. And by the way, we're walking up the Metro to the train station. CCHR, and we do this for the neighborhood, and Criminon, and I think they have an Al-Anon type process too. Maybe, is it Narcanon is them? So this is the LaSalle Street. This is the least populated train station in Chicago. Unfortunately, it's pretty close to them. And we're at what? Just at 5 o'clock. You know they're going to camp out up here too. All right, now I'm going to end it. The train station does have a restroom, but I'm not taking a camera in the restroom. So I might be back in 20 minutes, and I might be back tomorrow. I appreciate all of you watching. You know, it's a small audience right now, but I appreciate that you're taking the time to look at it. Thank you so much.